Hello everybody and welcome back to Thrones of Britannia with episode 2 of our Strat Clut campaign. Since the last episode, we have been approached by Kirkin, our defensive ally. They are eager to start a war with the Galgoidal, and they are asking me to join. They're going to offer 200 gold coins for payment for us joining that war. However, I think I'm going to give this a pass, because we don't really want to open up a third front. We already have an army down here that is playing a bit of defense against these two armies of Western S and North Leod, who are going to probably come up from two different passes. And we also have an army that's projecting our power into Lodin around Edinburgh, and we just don't have the men. So I'm going to hold off.
Been a fine thing.
Certainly at a later point, but yeah, look at that 12-unit stack. If we had declared war on them, that could be coming for us, and there's very little we can do about it. Okay, so they've gone back down to train some more. That's up to 15. Again, these units that they've just called up are going to be very low strength. And so if we can attack them quickly, we can, not worry about it too much. Okay, so faction probably down in the middle part of England has been destroyed. Not a big deal for us. Oh, Orkney has declared on Galgoidal too. Oh, interesting. And lied. Okay, so Galgoidal is just pissing people off all over the place. Let's open up the diplomacy again and see how this works. So, this is a faction that is weaker than us, and that is at war somehow, not only with the Gaelic kingdoms in Scotland, but with the Sea Kings as well. It itself is a Sea King faction. I'm sure
My time is precious.
we could maybe get something to happen here. If we were to declare war on them, they would probably pay us for peace. So this would be great to take advantage of it, if only we didn't have a couple of wars going on the other end of our realm. We'll have to keep an eye on things, because it's very, very interesting to see them so quickly in trouble. And I don't see where that 12-unit army is at the moment. They've possibly gone to sea with it. Very, very tempting, but I think we'll have to hold off. We can see that the Scottish factions to our north are training some armies and probably going to send those into the west. Now, we have an 11-unit stack right here.
We are Arthur's folk, true of heart.
But if we stay here, I think we can take them out. They're not recruiting anything else at the moment. Hopefully they don't nip back in here to train more. And it's winter, so this stack is tiny and probably going to be losing men to attrition. So what to do with this army? We're kind of in the snow at the moment. I think we'll just encamp, stay kind of close to the farms that we've just recently conquered. Okay, so there's low public order in Lodin for us. That's -4. So the way public order works in Thrones is that there's not a magical threshold beyond which you're going to have a rebellion, but there are points at which rebellion is more likely. So it's a more smooth gradation, which I find fairly interesting. So we've got a -4 public order. That means there's a 4% chance of rebellion. I think this is going to be improving the public order situation, so I'm not too concerned about it. And anyway, if we have to leave Abercurning, we certainly can. All right, a couple more turns, and we should be looking at some more food, so let's see what North Leod does. Oh. Okay. Damn. Alright, well played. So they sailed into my unprotected port town and took that over. Alright, so we've got a new mission issued. They want us to take Din Priest, and the reward is going to be 2,000, which would be nice. Where is that? Down here to the south, and there's some Wiking Raiders. Okay, so yeah, we're going to get this anyway. That'll be a nice little bonus for when we do take it. But now we have much, much bigger concerns. This is not going very well. All right, a lot of these troops are going to be low tier.
Every man will do his duty.
If we attack them, would we get these guys as a reinforcement? I mean, if we
By no means.
if we could get them as allies, stronger allies, that might be good.
My warriors will not
I think we have to take these guys back north. So the king and his army will head north.
move out.
And we're now in a food debt. Now, that's going to be somewhat alleviated in a couple of turns when we get another 15 food, but it's not going to be resolved. We have to take the settlement back or get another farm settlement, but there's none in the area, unfortunately. Closest one that we could take fairly easily would be this, and that's going to get us 37 food, which would be really close to what we need. But it's not realistic for us to take that right now, because as we've seen, these armies can just wreak havoc in our unprotected territories. So we made a big mistake here in not thinking that they could just sail on past us.
We are Arthur's folk.
So we have a couple of options. One, we could use this force to sort of call this army away. We could potentially start raiding on their territory, or even siege Edinburgh itself. Now, the garrison here is larger than the army that we have in the area.
Will do his duty.
And so that means that probably this army's not going to feel compelled to take it back. And they've also been bringing this army into the area as well.
Trained and ready.
All right, how about this?
For the glory of the Cymry.
We don't quite have the movement points to get anywhere useful next turn, but we'll get right around here.
Warriors.
And we'll bring these guys. I think we have to give up Abercurnig, because we don't want this army to get destroyed.
No. For the glory of the Cymry.
But they're in a very good position right now. Okay, all right, let's see what we can do with our diplomacy. Maybe we can get Athfolkla to help us out here.
I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Okay, let's see. Defensive pact, that's sufficient.
A reasonable arrangement.
Okay. We've got, do we have military access with them? Yes, we do. So, let's demand that they join the war with us and see if... Okay, that's insulting, but if we also... We'll sort of do a war for war. And how about we even get a little bit of money? This is probably not going to work. It's just not enough. Yeah, this is way too expensive. All right. So one concern that I have is that they're going to come down, attack this army, possibly win, and then they, my friend basically in the north, who has all sorts of allies among the Gaelic kingdoms, is going to have a chunk of my territory. That's unacceptable. That's going to cause me a lot of big problems. So what to do here? Well, I guess we got to get these armies out of here. Let's see. Where can you get next turn? You can't get up here,
No.
but you can.
My warriors will not falter.
But yeah,
Honor and glory.
we do have the ability to raid here. So I think we'll do that. We'll start a raid,
His duty.
possibly call this faction out, but I'm really worried that Athfolkla is going to jump in. So now we're in a food shortage. One of the problems with that is not only are our armies not able to support any more men, but we're going to run out of supply and we're going to start facing attrition. This is also causing public order problems. So this is not good, and we have to get that fixed soon. Yep, okay. So they took Abercurnig. Now what's Athfokla going to do? Because... Alright, I don't... Did they take it? I don't think they've moved. But they could be in this settlement right now. Hard to tell. Alright, an Irish Sea King faction, I think, just got destroyed. And, okay, so Athfokla did not take Strat Clut. Maybe we can see this force a little bit better. Okay, so they're not in great shape. Yes, and we lost Abercurnig. That's fine. No big news to report. Do you have some skills available for Rune, our faction leader? And I think what we may want to do at this point is work on Quartermaster, although... Alright, so Quartermaster will allow his armies to move faster on the campaign map. He already has a bonus to that being energetics. That gives him a 10%. This would get another 5, and it only goes up from there. So this is a very nice trade. Eventually it decreases upkeep cost for your units. So a good follower to get. The other one might be Champion, because that gives him +1 command. 4 command would give him the ability to fight night battles. And this also increases this bodyguard size of the commander's unit, increases unit morale at higher tiers. Just the champion follower itself is going to increase the melee skill for the commander's unit, and this is a guy we do want to get in the fight because he's got some good traits and units for that. So, Quartermaster, I think we need him to be moving around at the moment, so that's what we're going to do. Not going to be quite enough to get us exactly where we need to be. Let's keep an eye on West Airness, and yeah, they're coming up behind, but it'll be a few turns before they can get up here, and I think we have to resolve the Strat Clut issue at the moment. So let's bring this army over. Where do you guys think you're going?
We will serve you well.
They're going to try to sneak behind us. Okay. Can I raise an army and get there this turn? Or could I get there with this army? Not quite. Well, I think the smart thing to do is to combine these armies together, at least for the moment. We're already in a food deficit. Even if we lose this to this annoying 4-stack, we still need to beat this and get Strat Clut back very quickly and hope that they don't just decide to take it. So, given that, I think what I'll do, I'll combine these units, give them all to Rune.
Battle calls.
I'm going to kick you back to, how do we do this? Oh, I don't think we can just get rid of him. We can replace him, but that's not the same as kicking him back as to like a statesman status or something. Let's see if there's a way to do that I'm somehow missing. All right, so generals. Yeah, I don't think we can just actually no, we can disband him. We can disband the unit, right? Yeah, disband. Yes. Okay, great. There we go. So that's probably not going to be great for his loyalty, but it means we can actually raise an army here and see if we can possibly get it over in time. So which one of these do we want? A 62-year-old or one of my other sons? Let's check out his traits. Okay, this guy's a farmer, so he's going to be a better governor anyway. Yeah, let's go with this one. I think he looks like a better commander. And next turn we'll just rush him into the town. Alright, can we do any building? Yes, we can. So what we're going to do actually, and this is a good point for us to talk about technology, because we haven't been researching anything yet, but there's this technology button up here on the right-hand side of the screen. So Throne's technology research works quite a bit differently to previous Total War games. And to be honest, I like it because the previous techs, well, they always seemed extremely abstract and disconnected from what you're doing on the campaign map. For the most part, researching technology was just a button that you pressed, and it didn't require anything from you other than to press a button and wait a few turns for a technology to be researched. So it was a little abstract for my liking. With Thrones, though, that changes, because now in order to research anything, you have to first meet some prerequisites. You have military technology, and you have civic tech, and each of them are locked at the beginning of the campaign. To unlock them, for the military side, you have to do things like recruit a certain number of units, or attack another army a certain number of times, fight a siege battle a certain number of times. For civic techs, usually you get these unlocked by upgrading buildings or building buildings. So it's connected to what you're doing on the campaign map. And so for that reason, we haven't yet been able to begin any military research, because for the ones that are sort of the easiest, the low-hanging fruit to research early in the campaign, these require that you recruit 5 of any given unit. So 5 sword and or axe infantry units. You can see here we've only got 1 out of 5 recruited so far. 5 spearmen, we've only recruited 1. We've recruited 1 missile unit. Cav we are the closest to. Recruit 5 cavalry units. We're just 1 away, and then we'll be able to start down this path, which is going to make our already strong riders even better. So this is going to be well worth it as soon as we can train another cav unit. But therein does lie part of the problem, because there are recruitment caps in Thrones. You can, of course, retrain or train units instantly, and they appear at that lower strength and gradually increase. But before they get added back into the pool, there is a time limit. There's sort of a cooldown. And you can see that we're waiting for a while before we can train any more cav, simply because we've trained all that we could in the first turn or so. So the more elite, the higher tier units take longer to reappear into the recruitment pool. The lower tier stuff you can get faster. So this means that your armies tend to make sense. They tend to not be top heavy with full elite stacks, at least in the early game, and you tend to be filling them out with a lot more lower tier levy type stuff. So as you can see, we've got 1 turn remaining, and then we'll be able to train another unit of scout horsemen, and so then we'll be able to start that research. However, we're pretty close to training or building a granary, or upgrading this granary. This is going to give us an extra 20 food production, and it's also going to increase the replenishment in the region. It's going to make this a better place to withstand a siege and increase the supplies of armies who are in the area. This is going to cost us a bit of upkeep, but I think it's well worth it for the investment. And hopefully with that, and if we play our cards right in the next few turns, we should see this food debt resolved. So that research, or that upgrade, is going to allow us to unlock the agriculture chain, which is another very nice one to get going early on. You can build some water mills. This allows you to build water mills at the first tier, increase the supplies, public order, and then eventually farm income, and so on. So there are some really good techs there. But I think that's all we can do this turn. So now we have to see what the enemy's going to do, or what our allies indeed are going to do. And if Athfolkla goes for Srethbelin, that's going to be a big problem for us. Okay, interesting move. Looks like they're going for Strat Clut. Okay, Athfolkla did not take my fishing village. That's great. So I'm assuming they're going to attack Galgoidal. And here comes Ulaid, an Irish faction, to gobble them up from the south. Alright, Steinborg is, I believe, also a sort of a central English faction. Okay, so our general, our former general, because he is no longer a general, he has a -1 loyalty because we disbanded his unit. However, this is nice. Rune is getting some traits because he's in a province with the Great Hall, so he is +1 to his influence. Very useful for the faction leader. We've built our common communal fields, so you can see our food deficit is already resolving itself a little bit, and the general we disbanded is ready for duty. Okay, any other wars? Northumbria and Powys. Interesting. All right, and Westmoremus and Northumbria. So the Great Viking Army faction of Northumbria is throwing its weight around, I guess. And we've got this army coming up. So 2 turns, I would say, before Westerness's army heads up to Dundalm. Now, looking at it, this is a 15-unit army, but their units are in really poor shape. So if we can... yeah, our army is full, so that's excellent. All right, let's head here. Can we take Strathbellan? We can. We can take it back with this general here, Catwarid. So let's send him over there. A little surprised we didn't get caught by the zone of control of this army. We're going to occupy that, and there we go. Food shortage resolved. Now, the other thing we can do... Oh, we're not quite within range. But I think we have to do this. We have to go after this army because, of course, North Leod's army could just head back, defeat our general in Strathbellan, and take the city again. So let's move up here. And we'll get them, I think, next turn. We have to defeat this army. Again, this is pretty under strength, so I'm feeling quite good about this. And then be ready to move south against, well, against the pressure of both of those factions. Okay, so let's see what to do now. Our income is actually not too bad, but we don't have a ton of it, so maybe we'll hold off on building for another turn. I'm imagining we're going to be recruiting again in a little while. Now we have the food. We could supply a couple more units. I do have to say as well that the campaigns really unfold differently each time you play. Okay, so now we can get a really close look at this army. We're just going to auto-resolve this and lose, and so we're going to lose this, 63-year-old general, which is fine. But it looks like they don't have too much elite stuff. They've got a fairly large-ish army. They're probably going to recruit more stuff in here, but again, it's going to be under strength. And they don't have anything that looks too intimidating. This also is their king, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's go for an aggressive stance, just on the off chance that we may deal a few more casualties to them. Alright, decisive defeat. We lose Strathbellan again. And now they've got 19 units in the army, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay. So we have an event here. The horn of war has been blown, and we must prepare the men for combat. How shall we strengthen our ranks? Now, what this does is adds units to the recruitment pool. As we just saw, you're limited by by a certain number of turns and a certain number of units as to how many you can recruit at any given time. And so this is going to allow us to get more units faster. So I think we have a cavalry unit waiting for us already, and that'll get us to the 5 we need to start researching the cavalry specialist chain. So what I think I'd like to do is get more missile infantry, because the archers for our faction can be quite good, and this will get more bowmen, more skirmishers, so we can train more, so we can start down the missile tech train. So let's go for that. Alright, that's an Irish faction that's been eliminated. Alright, and of course we decisively lost Strathbellan again. Alright, nothing really pressing in terms of the war declarations, and we've got low loyalty again for our general, or the governor rather. Rune has lost some influence with the past couple defeats here, so you see his influence going up and down as we gain and lose territory. But I think we're going to be in a position to take this back. So let's fight for Strathbellan here.
Don't waver.
You can see we have a bit of an edge in the balance of power. So I think this should work out fairly well. They have 3 archers. One is about half strength, and we've got 4. So we've got a considerable edge on the missile front, and we just dominate the cavalry. We've got 3 Old North horsemen, a couple of the scouts, I think, and our general, who's quite good. One thing I am worried about is this unit here. Their king is going to be a pretty substantial sword melee infantry unit. Good armor, good morale, and our infantry is not really going to hold up. But we can at least hold them, I think. And these armored axemen that we have are going to be what we want to reserve to try to do a lot of damage to this unit. This is their most heavily armored unit, I would say. So the battle map here shows a bit of what I was talking about in the previous episode, how the minor settlements not only do not have garrisons, but don't really offer any strategic or tactical advantage in terms of defense. You don't have like a typical town where you can set up in a plaza, even if it's unwalled, like the minor settlements in like Attila or Rome 2. Instead, you've got a cluster of buildings around. I think this was like a silver mine / port. So you're going to see probably a little mining village over here, but it's not the main focus of the battle. This is just a place where, the miners have their houses or huts or whatever. And so the battle is going to take place probably outside it. I think we're the yellow, and so we could, in some situations you can set up in the village and try to take advantage of how it's set up. But that can be a double-edged sword, because if the settlement takes damage, if the buildings take damage as a result of the enemy marching through and chucking torches at things, as they are wont to do, then you are going to have to repair those on the campaign map. So you don't necessarily want to fight in the village unless it really offers a significant advantage. So let's see what the setup looks like here. All right, it looks fairly open. And yeah, we're attacking. It's dry, so that's going to be good for our missiles. Yeah, so here's the village. It's actually more substantial than I thought, but here's the mining portion of it. Again, there's no central square for us to try to defend. So we'll just set up on the other side of it and kind of ignore it for the moment. Okay, we've got our Old North horsemen, and we've got our scout horsemen here. So a bit lower tier, of course, but still good. All of our cavalry have precursor javelins, so as they go in for the charge, they're going to be throwing those at the enemy, which is going to be a nice sort of shock element. Okay, so we've got a couple of swords, 3 spears, and those axemen, and here are our archers. So I think we're just going to want to approach fairly cautiously, but I don't want my archer or my axemen in the front, because we want to really choose the engagement with them. Okay, let's do something like this.
It is agreed.
Alright, so they've split their cavalry between the 2 flanks. But I think what we'll do is we'll take care of this unit of cav, and then we'll have our cav entirely free reign over here. And then we've got our spears to kind of take care of the other cav.
Let's go to war. We are the Cymry. Horsemen. Riders, up the pace. Kick your mounts. Levyman.
Alright, they're actually approaching already, so we're going to be able to get some shots in. Looks like they're going to be setting up in the woods, which I think is not good for our cav, but I'm not sure. I would imagine the trees are not great for yeah, so the charge bonus is 75%. So it slows down the units, but it's actually a good move on their part. try to hit some of their cav. Okay, looks like they're moving them away.
Fire at will! Loose! Cavalry!
Alright, let's... Wasn't paying attention there.
Splashing! At a gallop!
They got the jump on us.
Archers! Fire missiles!
Alright, we're gonna beat those horsemen.
Horsemen! Watch for the missiles! Strike hard! It's an ambush!
See, they're
There they go.
for our might.
They're firing! Horsemen!
Charge right into the Thanes. If we could take them out early, that would be very nice. We are charging right into spears with our general. So this is maybe not ideal.
Our general is under attack now.
But we did a lot of damage on that charge, so if we can break them fast, that'd be nice. They are wavering.
They got the jump on us.
Oh, we got some guys trying to come in here. Alright, time to get out. Alright, Thanes are not falling as fast as they need to, so we gotta get our cav out of there.
Men have rallied.
We are the cavalry! Swift as the wind! Watch for the missile!
Alright, there they go.
We are the cavalry! Aim! They came out of fire! The pace! Cavalry!
And the missiles, watch it. They got the jump on us. It's a rout.
Heirs of
Our warriors.
Alright, so our archers are fleeing.
incoming! Cavalry!
There's those Thanes again. Let's go ahead and get wedged up.
Horsemen!
Just a big, ridiculous charge into those Thanes. We'll see if that can deal with them. Okay, so there go
Bowmen!
their bowmen.
Just attack!
Get you guys in a nice shield wall.
Cavalry!
We got them down quite a bit.
Ready and willing!
Let's get out of that formation. And they're wavering. Doing pretty good in terms of numbers for our cav, and there they go. Actually, let's stay and fight those Thane horsemen. I don't mind meleeing with them. I think we'll be able to beat them pretty easily.
We're coming for you!
Okay, let's get out of the spears, though.
For victory. The men have been routed. They are
Faster
leaving
now!
the field.
No slackers! Bowmen! Mark your target!
We are aiming at them.
That's the way! Ride them out!
This is very good. We're just pulling them apart now, so that's very good. Okay, I think I'll take these guys out of shield wall. I'm going to start pushing the infantry so they stop pushing our cav.
Axemen! Quick march it is! Archers!
So our men came back, and
They flee before our might.
alright, they got some axemen over there.
Turn the field and run. The cowards.
We'll just keep pulling them back.
Axemen! Archers! Bowmen!
We're under fire.
Look sharp!
Because I think we're in a good position to start engaging with them at this point.
Pick those feet up!
Quick march it is. Crush them.
It's an ambush!
And we do want to bring our axemen too.
Axemen! Archers!
Let's get the archers like here.
We're coming for you!
There's some archers. Yeah, let's see if we can get them taken care of.
Charging!
The men
Alright,
have
these
been
are long axemen, that's not good.
routed. Time, men.
But it's probably better to have them tied up here.
The pace! Kill him!
Okay.
Crush him!
Hold the line.
Riders, at the pace! That's the way! Charge them! We are the cavalry!
let's actually try to deal with this. We don't really want to lose all of our swordsmen yet. Looks like we're close to routing that archer unit. Get those guys off skirmish so they don't just avoid everything forever. We'll take care of those javelin men, and our scouts should run off those archers pretty well. Alright, so there goes some of our men. Okay, they're shattered, so we'll bring them back. They're shattered as well, so stop hitting them. We can hit the enemy general in the back. Okay, those javelin men are gone. How about a quick charge while they're out of formation? Okay, swords came back. We'll hit them. Right, they're trying to get formed up. We're going to hit them in the side. Wedge up and charge.
We are the Cymry. Trash them! Show us the foe. Break them!
Get our general out too.
Horsemen, riders up the pace. Horsemen, at the gallop. Swift as the wind.
That was good. We get them down to about half. And now we're still shooting into their backs, too, with the archers, so... Alright. Yeah, let's get our archers back so they don't get caught in the melee. These guys may come back. Another charge with our cav. I do want to bring my general around here to see if he can shore up the morale of these units. That was good. Yes, they did come back.
The battle is turning in our favor. The enemy general is dead.
All right, we got him.
What's your command? Swift as the wind. Levy men. Let's go to war. This house.
Great, that unit's shattered. They're not coming back. A couple of charges in the back, and we should be in great position here. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're starting to flee already. Yep, that's it. Awesome. All right, a little worried about that actually, but we pulled it off. So now we'll just speed up the fight and try to get as many of these guys off the field as we can, so that we don't have to chase this army down on the campaign map. All right. So we got Strat Clut back. Okay, guys, don't lose sight here. And that means our food problem should be resolved, at least for a couple of turns, because we do have the farmland to the south of our capital that is going to be under threat very, very shortly. Why do you guys just stop chasing routers? It's very, very annoying. I think they lose sight of them in the trees or something, so... Anyway, I think that'll be just about it. Go ahead and end the battle here. That was indeed a close victory, or at least it felt like it. But there don't look to be too many remaining. So I'm hopeful that the army is just going to dissolve. But that's the king of the North Leod, so... It's a pretty, I'm pretty happy about that. All right. Yes. The army is gone, and we're not going to sack it. It's our own city. We're going to occupy, and that's going to give us a ton of replenishment. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So, we've got 11 food in the stockpile, and we're in a good position around here. We've got allies around us, and no enemy armies in this area, at least for now.
By no means.
However, next turn we're going to lose all this food, but we should be just fine. We'll be able to head down and deal with these armies then. So let's just see if there's anything we can do here. I think we probably do want to go ahead and repair this, actually. This is going to give us some food back. We're missing, oh, let's see, 21 to 39. Don't make me do math, but that's going to give us a pretty substantial boost there. Risk of Rebellion is in Strat Clut. This is because of the food problem. So that's giving us -2 to public order. So we've got a 6% chance of a rebellion here. That could be really bad for us. But I am hoping that since the food problem is resolved, we're going to not have to worry about that in this next turn. Let's just see what the next one brings. Yeah, and I can see our heroism now is at -2, so that's part of the issue as well. Since we've lost territory, we're just not doing well. We need to hold on to land and not lose it. But as you can see, it's tough to do that, to sort of anticipate what the enemy is going to do, or even if you can see it, like in this case, you know, there's just nothing you can do. All right, Affolk, get your stuff together. Decide what you're going to do. Kind of freaking me out. But yeah, it looks like Ulaid is coming on strong in this region. All right, yet another central English faction gone. Mead and Divlin have peace, and we lost our farm, and so now we're back to -25, and so we did not solve our rebellion problems, unfortunately. All right. Well, nothing for it but to take this army into the south and hope that we can hit both of these forces. One more turn and we'll have our grain silo. That's going to be a big help so that we don't have to worry about the... we won't be as vulnerable to the vicissitudes of the minor settlement situation. So that'll be nice. We've got low loyalty yet again with this character, but I think this is just the same. He's probably still at 2, yeah. So let's actually see if we can get a wife for him. And that's the exact opposite of what we want. This would be great for a king, but we're definitely not going to have him on a governor or general who's already disloyal and fairly influential. So we'll turn her down. I don't know if there's anything else we could do here. This guy is he's got a loyalty of 6. This one had a loyalty of 3, but that seems to have gotten better since we last saw him. All right. Well, folks, I think this is a good point to end the episode. So we did have a successful fight, took out the main army under the King of North Leod, but we still have a lot of work to do, as evidenced by these armies down here. And now that they're in the area, in home territory, they're going to start replenishing. So we're going to have to hope that our supplies last for a few more turns, and we can still replenish to take these armies on, probably both at the same time. So that's what awaits us in the next episode. I hope you'll join me then. Until then, take care.